this tramp is still the champ! And my God, what a frosty little slop tart. Now I know there's a fresh batch of slop tarts back there, trying to take a shot at this wide load that holds the gold. Yes, that's right. Everyone's coming for Tony Storm, but you've got it all wrong, darling. Tony Storm comes for everybody. So if your tits can take the hits, then I'm not a hard woman to find. I could be right here. I could be over here. Excuse me. I could be right here next to this man. I could be over here. Excuse me. I could be right here with this lovely gentleman.
Hello.
I could be right here pretending to be asleep. No. I'm going to be right here on this bloody broadwalk.
Where is she going?
Down to the
And
broadwalk.
one thing I know is for sure. I will be ready. I will be sweaty. I am here and I am queer. And I will always be timeless.
The Women's World Champion on the boardwalk with Luther.
What a moment. Absolutely magnificent. If there's a bitch with the itch, step up.
Well, there you see him on the board.
Set the scene, turn the page. They say that all the world's a stage, so don't make me dance alone. Clean the slate from the start, 'cause all I want's to play the part of the girl you're taking home. So tell me about this little life. Can we make it last all night? I want it all, just like the movies. You wear me down, just how it should be. So tell me, what am I to do when I miss my every cue? Faded hearts are messy things, but you're my favorite ending.
Live from the Minute Man Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, on Thursday, May 8th, 2025, live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Instagram. You have entered the Generation Evolution. I'm Mike.
I'm Christian.
I'm Mark.
Watch you remember our names this time.
Yeah.
That was an issue on Sunday. I forgot to say our names.
I'm gonna say straight off the bat. I can just imagine the non-wrestling fans seeing her pose
I
on
love
top
that.
of the boardwalk.
No, but
and it was
it's
like, what the
Jersey.
fuck?
But it's New Jersey, so it probably didn't be that weird.
Fair enough.
Jersey.
Or she'll be over there sleeping.
Hang on, let me intro the song because it's a very short intro song. This is actually the song I heard on TikTok literally last night. I'm like, this is awesome. This is a band, this is a Glimmers with the song A Little Light. Right, this song literally got released on Tuesday.
Good.
And I'm bringing it to the show. Like, that's what I'm trying to do, bring brand new music here for the first time. So,
The female vocal sounds a lot like Avril Lavigne.
I don't know who this is, but definitely not
She sounds
Levine.
like the Linkin Park.
It's actually definitely not either one of them. It's actually completely different. I've never even heard of this name before. I thought it was really cool last night, but I found it. Bring it to the show. So,
That was a great cold open. That was beautiful.
okay, so the cold open was Tony Storm from last Saturday, live from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, in New Jersey, last Saturday. One of the highlights of the entire show Saturday. By far one of the highlights. That was, the funny part is, for the Sunday, I already had the cold open for Sunday set, was the Dirty Dom talking about the Lucha clip we put on Sunday's show. So I was like, I'm going to use it for a Thursday show. I'm going to use it for the Thursday show.
It was beautiful.
I loved it. I loved that moment. That was amazing.
Or it
And
could be over
by
there
the way,
sleeping.
I am totally putting on our video board. I'm here, I'm queer, and I'm timeless. I need to put that on our video board because that was an incredible
Is
moment.
she actually queer?
Yes, she's openly bi.
Yeah.
She's openly bi. That's legitimately true. She's openly bi, but married to two promises. But openly bi. So there you go. But I'll put it on the soundboard right next to this clip.
Milwaukee, I love you.
I'll put it right next to that.
Beautiful.
I didn't hear it. What was that?
Milwaukee, I love you.
There you go.
There you go.
I think you need to play it one more
So
time.
yeah, there you go.
Milwaukee, I love you.
You know,
Just cut him off.
It's gonna
You know,
be that kind of show. It's gonna be that kind of show. I'm just feeling it already. It's gonna be that kind of show.
I think she's the only female wrestler that can get away what she
She is.
says in
Absolutely
the
is.
open.
Absolutely is. Her
And
promo,
I-
you know, to their credit. No, can I say something? I'll give credit where it's wrong. We're not doing AEW talk today. To credit where it's due, they were the promo on Dynamite this week. It was Anna Jay and Harley Cameron, and that was fucking hilarious. Because literally, they were just talking about their
Oh,
group. That was fucking hilarious.
yeah.
And I feel like Tony being Tony is letting everybody be a little looser, which is definitely not a bad thing. You know what I mean?
No, I think people might need that
I mean,
it's more
themselves.
fun. It's more fun.
and the thing with Tony Storm is she's so creative. You have no idea what the hell she's gonna say.
I don't think TK knows what she's going to say. That's the thing. I don't think TK. But because at the end of that four-way, we ended up with a Thunder Tits moment. That was cool.
Thunder
Like,
tits.
So, all right. So this show is not going to be nearly as crazy as the last few have been. It's been right now. It's not as that busy. There hasn't been a lot of news. The last week we have the show was releases, so it's not that big of a news week. I do want to do one non-wrestling topic because it's hockey, and I really want to bring it up real fast. Over on the Blake and Sal show for last year, before we ended the show, we were talking about the Utah hockey team, who didn't have a team this year. Didn't have a name. And originally, they were going to be the Utah Yeti. It was voted on by the fans, and then they found out they can't use the Utah Yeti because of copyright. Because
Yeah, they're
I'm explaining it. The Yeti Cups, the company that the Yeti Cups said they can't use the name, which is stupid. But that's a whole different story. I was looking forward to the Yeti. I was pro Yeti. We made a big deal out of the Yeti. We're not getting the Yeti, but what we are getting is the announcement came out yesterday. Utah's name has been officially announced. It is the Utah Mammoth.
That is actually a cool logo.
yeah.
Oh, I like it. Like, I like it. I like it better than I expected.
I mean, as far as merchandising, I mean, think of this. You could sell these stuffed animals to kids and they'd eat it up.
Yeah, actually, somebody put it. Somebody's making Ice Age jokes because they said they have the Predators and now they have this, and they're making Ice Age jokes now.
Well, there you go.
Sloth, the sloth.
Yeah, where's the sloth?
I know that's been the joke since yesterday when it broke. So I was bringing it up there. I thought it was pretty cool. Before I get to the one thing I have in my notes, last time I forgot to show this on
Is
Sunday
his name
show.
Snuffy?
I don't know. I'll find out. Actually, I actually said if they have some merchandise up at the store when I'm there next week in New York. I got to go to HL store next week to get my jersey, my hockey Cancer jersey fix. So when I'm there, I'm going to see if they have any Utah merchandise. If they do, I'm going to have a puck while I'm there.
Let me know.
Do they have Sid as a sidekick?
No. But
they Photoshop it in like a little on the top of the mammoth. Just a horrible picture of Sid.
So a lot of the picture that I found that I didn't use on Sunday's show that I moved to here that Manny sent me. And it's an animation of one of our favorite bits that we've done on this show, on the podcast over the years. Because it was the anniversary of a certain math problem that we talked about. And this is the graphic. It's the Steiner math.
Muppet Steiner.
Nah,
Muppet Steiner math. I wanted to share that picture. That was too damn funny. Anyway, so let's get to some wrestling.
it's fucking Coca-Cola.
In a couple of weeks, like next, let me update people on the schedule. So Sunday's gonna be a normal show. You guys should be here normal. Next Thursday, I'll be gonna be in New York City. I actually don't know where I'm gonna be when you guys are live. I actually have no idea where I'm gonna be. Might be in the studios. I might not be. I have no idea where I'm gonna
You
be.
could be sleeping.
No, I definitely won't be sleeping. I definitely will not be sleeping.
You'd be on the boardwalk.
You could be on the
No,
boardwalk.
no, I'm either gonna be at the studio or walking around the city. I don't know where I'm gonna be. One of the two, but I'm not gonna be here. That's all I know. I'm not gonna be here. I won't be jumping on live like when I was in. So the last time I took a week off, it was when we were in Disney, and I was supposed to take the week off. I was not supposed to be on the show, but what happened? Remember the day we had that massive thunderstorm and everything got shut down.
Yep.
And we got back to the hotel. When we got back to the hotel, they just so happened to be starting the show. So I jumped in and joined the show from the hotel. I was not planning on being on the show that day. I was not. But that happened to work out because of the storm we were dealing with. So this time around, I will definitely not be here next Thursday. I will definitely not be here next Thursday. So the two of them are in charge. And boy, I cannot wait for them to realize, especially this one who's going to be running the board, just how complicated running this board is sometimes. So
You think I'll be able to figure it out?
yes, you're smarter. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to realize how This is how much complicated this could get to be. Anyway,
By the way, everyone, for a straight hour, all you would hear is
no, we're not doing that. But so then the following Sunday on the 18th, again, I won't be here, but we already pre-recorded that show. The following Thursday, between Thursday and Sunday, the week after, we have 4 wrestling TV show PLEs or pay-per-views.
shit.
TNA Under Siege.
Don't
NXT
don't count. It's gonna hurt
Let me
yourself.
explain. I'm explaining it. TNA Under Siege, Saturday's main event, NXT Battleground, and Double or Nothing. All in a matter of 72 hours.
Jesus Christ.
All in a matter of 72 hours.
Don't count. You're gonna hurt yourself.
So this morning, I was talking to Sal, and I told him, and this is the reason I'm setting this up, but this is the only thing we're going to bring up because we'll do full previews in a couple of weeks of all these shows. But this is the most ridiculous wrestling Mad Lib sentence that says 2025 wrestling I've ever said in my life.
Should
Okay?
we be scared?
Joe Hendry is defending the Teenage World Championship against a former NXT champion, Trick Williams, an NXT Battleground going up against AEW Nothing. Is that the most wrestling Mad Lib sentence you've ever heard in your life?
Wow. And here's the thing. It's true.
But like that is the most Mad Lib thing ever, isn't it? Like,
It is.
I have nothing to say.
Because if you look at what the sentence is just on its own, people would think that we're bullshitting. You're kidding. No, this is not.
Real sentence. And Ava went through Santino to make the Mad Lib. This is so bizarre. This is so bizarre.
This is just something.
So I just want to bring that up. We'll talk more about it obviously until we go through the entire NXT show. But this is definitely the biggest Mad Lib I've ever seen in my life. And if 3 months ago this made no sense, 3 months ago, let alone a year ago, this made no sense. Even when we started this show in January, this sentence made no sense. Let's just be honest with ourselves here, right? Like, so just want to throw it out there on how weird wrestling truly is in 2025. So
In the big 2025, it's beautiful.
So anyway, we do have 2 shows this weekend. 2 big shows this weekend. Well, 1 big show and 1 WWE PLE. We'll talk about New Japan first. But New Japan. The last time we talked New Japan, me and Cristian were at Windy City Riot. And this is actually the follow-up to Windy City Riot. Because New Japan, as I explained this to Mandy earlier, New Japan has like 2 universes. They have the Japanese universe that is getting ready for the juniors tournament starting this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the U.S. side of things, the strong side of things, the show me and Cristian went to, which is the show they're doing on Friday night from Ontario, California. And it's New Japan Resurgence, Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence from Ontario, California. And I was telling Cristian on the way home today from school that I was trying to figure out Friday night because I'm ordering the show. It's only $20 if you have a New Japan subscription. It's only $20. So I'm going to order it. And I'm going to watch it Saturday morning. And then I was like, I'll be able to avoid spoilers because it doesn't start until after SmackDown ends because of the time difference.
Just don't go on social media the first thing.
But my point is though, the show won't even be on anymore after SmackDown's over, and I go to bed right after SmackDown, usually on Fridays. So like I'm usually in bed right after SmackDown's over, so I definitely won't see any spoilers in the morning. And I'm very good at avoiding New Japan spoilers in the mornings during shows. I'm very good at it, so I'm not worried about that. So, this is actually a pretty good show, though. This is actually a damn good show. I didn't include the pre-show match because usually, usually just these strong people. And then there's also a Fred roster match, but I know who he was facing, so I didn't bother to put that on here. But
facing?
I don't know who he is facing. That's why I didn't bring it up here. That's why I didn't bring it up.
I know who he's facing.
I have no idea who it was. But anyway, that's not important. But here we go. We'll start from the bottom to the top. We have a 8-man tag match. It is the Bullet Club War Dog. David Finlay, Gabe Kidd, Clark Connors, and Ghetto versus the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers.
Wow. I
What?
That's what's happening. So Cristian, remember in our show, we had the Young Bucks do a promo, but nobody heard the promo because everyone was too busy booing and telling them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the promo. This is what they were setting up. This is what they were setting up during that promo.
Oh, that
was this match.
Does anyone actually care for this match?
I'm never happy to see the Good Brothers wrestle. Happy about that. Could you stop doing that?
Sorry.
Never happy to see this. I'm assuming the Bucks and the Good Brothers win this match, but I don't care.
I'm wondering how the Young Bucks and the Good Brothers are going to be able to work together.
But they've been working together for years. This is not new. This isn't new.
No, I know it's not new. It's
I
just
think Gato should just win.
Vito's there for the pin. That's why he's there. He's there for the pin. Moving on, we have the world-class wrestling crew. Where's out of control? Nelson, defending your strong open-weight tag team championships against United Empire, TJP, and Tempolito. I don't know who this is. Who is this?
Templaro. Relo?
Moving your bottles because they're literally blocking the screen for you. You can't see the screen.
Temp Mario.
There you go.
Temp Mario.
I'm just assuming world-class wrestling.
Mario.
I'm going to assume they're retaining.
No, it's
again.
Mario.
Hey, I'm going to assume they're retaining again.
Yeah. But I think it's Templario.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna go with World Wrestling.
Yeah.
World Wrestling Crew.
The next match, by the way, Christian, this match was actually set up at our show. The next match.
Ooh.
Hikayoshi Contessa versus El Phantasmo for the Never Openweight
Jesus
Championship.
Christ.
Holy fuck, this is going to be great. This match was set up at our show in Chicago. When right before it was obviously the main event was Hikayoshi Contessa versus Tanahashi. That was the main event, and Contessa won. But before we got to the Tanahashi retirement stuff, El Phantasmo confronted Hikayoshi Contessa. So that set up this match.
I want El Phantasmo to win.
So do I, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately. But I'd love to see it happen.
Maybe it's possible. Who knows?
I just don't expect it, but I would love it. Like, trust me, I would love to see it. Strong Openweight Championship.
Woo!
Toru Ishii
My guy.
hold the show at the last show versus Drilla Maloney.
Ishii.
You got to keep the belt on Ishii, right? You got to.
He
Oh
just-
yeah, without a doubt.
Especially because they're defending it's the U.S. title, and he wrestles more in the U.S. than anything else.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to keep this belt here.
Yep.
Then we have the two main events. It is Mercedes Moné taking on Azumi and Mina Shirakawa for the Strong Women's Championship.
You know what I gotta say?
Go for it.
This is the exact crowd reaction when Mercedes comes out.
Pull.
What the fuck was that? Those are press buttons. Like, stop. Honestly, this match annoys me. This match annoys the hell out of me, and here's why. At our show, we had Izumi versus Hirakawa. It was a number one contendership match for this match.
Yep.
And then it ended in a double countout. That's why the triple threat match. You do a triple threat match like this, and I would assume under normal circumstances, take the belt off somebody. But with this whole Mercedes Moné is undefeated thing going on in two different companies. And I don't know if AEW is going to want Mercedes to lose before they have a chance to beat her. And I have a feeling that first loss is going to be an all-in. Tony. I don't know what to do here.
Realistically, I think Mercedes can afford to lose a belt.
Oh, she could totally afford to lose the belt. I'm not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that at all.
I say we use the logic of she loses but doesn't get pinned.
I think that's what you do a triple threat like this for. You have Shirakawa or Azumi get pinned. I mean, one of them actually wins the belt, but the other one gets pinned.
So that way it makes her look strong going into the match with Tony.
Oh, they mean that. And then, she also had that match with Jamie, a double or nothing.
Right.
The versus Mercedes, a double or nothing. And then she still has never been pinned, but she can still lose a belt. But I hate the belt collector gimmick. I hated it when Kenny Omega was doing it. Definitely when Mercedes is doing it. Like, I don't.
I just hate. I'm gonna be honest. I just genuinely hate the belt collector thing people do. Like, okay, we get it. You won multiple titles, but fucking hell, no one else can win them because you're running around with them.
I know. I hate it. And then the worst part is in the Kenny Omega situation, and this is only coming up because of the AAA WWE relationship that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
They never even got a chance to hit the belt off of him in AAA because he got hurt. So you had this long ass thing with belt collector, and he never even got to drop the belt because he got hurt. But
there's one funny part about Kenny's multiple reigns is when it was the triple threat between him and Pac and Orange Cassidy, he hit him with the title, went back to Don Callis, grabbed the other title.
I know, that
hit
was-
him,
that
and then
was
kept on hitting
hilarious.
him until he got all the titles in.
That was hilarious. That was immediately hilarious. But back to this stuff. Mercedes does not need all these belts. And she does
No.
not need to be champion in 3 different companies.
No.
Mercedes on site.
Can you please stop at that, please? Stop it.
Fine.
In all seriousness, I don't want this to be a thing. Unfortunately, I think Mercedes is going to retain. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with that.
I don't want her to, but
Yeah, but see, you put the belt on Mina.
like I said, I want her to take a belt off her. I want them to. I just don't see them doing it. I just don't see it. Honestly.
Well, let's see what happens. The president will make it the final decision.
Jesus Christ. Moving on. The main event of the show. I'm not gonna lie, this title match is a hell of a lot better than what we saw. Hiroki Goto defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Zack Sabre Jr.
Is it Saber or Saber?
I don't know. You ask that question every time I say it. I just say it that way because I want to say it that way. Stop asking me.
Damn.
But you ask me that every time we do the Japan show.
It could be Sabre.
And all jokes aside, it's Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
And it's ESJ. I like saying Zack Sabre, and this guy likes correcting me every show. Stop it.
We have an old guy versus a technician specialist.
I actually am looking forward to this match. Unfortunately, we've only done one title change or 2 title changes ever in America. We don't do it often. Like, I could literally count on one hand the time we've done it. And 2 or 3 times. It was definitely Okada beat Jay White at Duo Supercard. Moxley won the belt on U.S. soil. I don't remember when Mox lost the belt. Oh no, and Mox lost the belt on U.S. soil too because of he beat because they had Naito beat him at Forbidden Door. So they've only done 3 title changes ever on U.S. soil. It doesn't happen often, so I just don't see it happening here.
No.
Especially with Dominion right around the corner. Dominion usually really do be title changes, so I guess Dominion. We'll talk about Dominion in June.
They got the old guy with the title. Woohoo!
I know. I'm not happy about
Come on. Goto deserves his just rewards because I don't know how much longer he's going to be.
I know. We watched him wrestle at our show. We don't know how long longer he has either.
Yeah.
I'm be dead honest. That match was so fucking bad.
That was so boring.
And I don't know who's more at fault.
I'm blaming Uno more than even Goto on that match.
Uno's younger. He took 10 years to do one single move.
The problem is they're doing a new character for him. Notice Uno's not on this show. Uno's not on the show.
Thank God.
But
if he's on the pre-show wouldn't even be called a pre-show. It'd be called the
no,
long ass show.
The pre-show is one of the we had a pre-show strong.
I got him.
Or we had a strong Survivor match or something like that on our pre-show. Same thing here. That's why I didn't bring it up. And it definitely not mentioning Fred Rosser because I would have mentioned that. You know what I mean? If it was Fred Rosser was him, I would have mentioned it. You know what I mean? One of those things. So, one of the New Japan thing, before we move on to WWE, other than the New Japan thing, this past week, I didn't watch the shows, but because I didn't have time. I didn't have time. Was on the wrestling Tico shows. And at those 2 shows, Shinsuke Naito and Bushi had their final matches. We had one last big LIJ moment at the end of night 2. And as we talked about on Sunday show, now I've got more details about this. The Bullet Club War Dogs beat the House of Torture, kicking them out of the Bullet Club.
Ooh.
So that happened at Wrestling Daikaku. So there you go. Those big things happen there. Let's move on. Saturday night, WWE Backlash. It's so underwhelming because last year Backlash was in France. The year before that was in Puerto Rico. This is so disappointing. The last 2 years were such huge shows. Think about it this way. 2 years ago, Backlash, we had Bad Bunny wrestling. 2 years ago. That was true. I want to go back and watch that show. That was a great show. But anyway, this show does not have Bad Bunny on it. The show is not out of the country.
It's got the next best thing.
Well, we'll get to it. We do have we're in St. Louis story for WWE Backlash. We're back to 5-match shape reviews, which I greatly appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Which it's back to normal PLEs. We're back to normal PLE format at 5 matches. But you know what? To their credit, these 5 matches are fucking stacked. These matches are stacked.
Oh yeah,
But
without a doubt.
the men's United States Championship. I'll clarify that because we do have both IC titles on this show. But the United States Championship, it is Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. Holy shit! This is gonna be great. Oh, this is gonna be awesome.
Are we gonna see a moonsault on all three of them?
I would love it. Or do more. Or. I got it. You have all three men at different corners.
Oh
And then
my
you have
God.
two go from one corner to the next, hitting.
Oh my God!
That's what you do. That's what you
You know
do.
what'd be more
Can
impressive?
you see Drew doing a Claymore on Jacob Fatu?
Yes, I can't see that. Christian, what are you
No, no. Drew McIntyre hits a Claymore. Jacob either stands there like nothing ever happened,
Oh,
or
fuck
just
yeah.
gets back up.
That's exactly what he would do.
No, but
Fuck,
you
A
know,
no sell?
yeah,
Oh yeah.
he knows all the RKO.
He did. Okay, Christian, you're gonna say
But no, Jacob Fatu jumps over all three of them to do a moonsault on
that.
all of them.
Oh my
All
god!
of them at the exact same time.
My god, that's fucking crazy.
Or
Then comes up as a little dance he does.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. Sorry.
or they're all stacked on top of each other,
Yeah,
and he jumps over all of them to hit a moonsault.
If they're looking at those are all awesome ideas. But anyway, I don't think
You never know you could do it, Jacob Fatu.
you know what? I'm just waiting how you're taking the calls. I'll check that too. There's no way right now, right?
No, I
There's
think
way.
Little Nate.
No, there isn't. I think they're waiting for something bigger for him, as far as a match with probably
I don't know. I honestly don't know what they're planning.
Solo.
Maybe. No, all seriousness. Maybe we're getting Jacob Fatu versus Solo at SummerSlam.
Loser has to say, "I love you."
Everyone's waiting for the moment where Fatu says, "I hate you, Solo." We're all waiting for that moment.
I
We know
hate
it's coming.
you, Solo.
We know it's coming eventually. You know what I mean? We all know it's coming, but eventually it's going to happen.
what about Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns?
No, because Roman Reigns
Even though that would be a great match.
that would be awesome, but I think we're there. He's in a different feud. I think we're going to get him versus Braun Breaker before we get Jacob Fatu.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to get. I think
I
we're gonna
see that.
Spear versus Spear.
Like I think because Roman obviously didn't show up that often, I can see them doing Reigns versus Breaker at like SummerSlam.
Yeah.
You remember we have 2 nights at SummerSlam this year,
Mhm.
so we have a lot of space to fill. And we got to figure out how we're doing SummerSlam. When we get there, we have to figure out how we're doing SummerSlam because I don't know if we have the time on the schedule to do like we do for Mania week. No,
And
I don't know if the 3 of us have the time on the schedule that week because of his cross country training.
right.
Do like we did for Mania week. So we got to figure that out when we get there. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Isn't this the first time that SummerSlam's 2 nights then?
Yes,
too?
this year is in New Jersey 2 nights. Next year's in Minnesota 2 nights. So, anyway, back to the show. We have the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Everyone's favorite boneheaded hero, Dominic Mysterio, defending against Penta.
Dominic.
Title change.
Dom's winning.
Dom's
winning.
No way in hell.
Dom's winning.
Can I?
Go for it.
Papa, when he sees Dom.
I'm sorry, but Dom's winning. Dom is
Dom is winning.
I don't know what's going on with Dom. I have no clue what's happening with him right now. I'm loving him right now. I'm loving the character changing he's doing. He's growing up in front of our eyes. He's fucking leading the Judgment Day. Like, I don't know what's happening right now. Like, I'm loving this Dominic Mysterio right now. I don't know
Behind
what's
the
happening.
scenes, Rey Mysterio is the proudest father ever.
Seriously. Actually, if you hear Rey Mysterio on CBB's podcast, Ray does praise Dom on that podcast. Like, Ray does praise him there. But then Dom calls him a deadbeat in his interview, which cracked me up.
and then you realize behind the scenes, they're hugging and embracing each other.
Oh, yeah, you know it. You absolutely know it.
Behind the scenes, when the character's done, and then behind the cameras, they are loving what Dom is doing, and everyone is hugging Dom.
Yeah, Dad.
I'm waiting, and I know it's going to be coming right around the corner. I'm waiting for Finn to basically challenge Dom and beat the ever-loving dog shit out of him.
See, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to call this right now. Because apparently, I have to start paying attention again during Raw. Because I missed like 2 different behind the backstage stuff, like behind the camera things. I missed 2 of them during Raw, apparently, because I wasn't fully paying attention Monday night. And one of them was Dom. Was obviously Dom and Finn had their thing going on. And Finn did the whole, of course I'm going to have your back and I'll take care of AJ next week for you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But Finn was seen talking to Roxanne. And people are thinking that this theory is that you're going to use Roxanne because Liv is off filming a movie. And
Right.
Finn is going to bring Roxanne around to try to seduce Dom like they did with Liv and Rhea. To see if Dom's loyal to Liv.
Riv is.
You know what I meant. You know what I
know.
meant. But like that's the theory I'm hearing, and I love that. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. I love the whole like soap opera of this whole storyline with the Judgment Day. I'm loving it, and I have loved it for a long time. You guys know that.
Yeah.
But it's not new for me.
And,
Like,
and here's the other thing. I think Roxanne would gel better with Raquel than Liv does.
no, I don't think so. Well, Liv and Raquel are legit friends. Like they're legit friends. So like
Yeah.
that's why their partnership works so well.
Right.
Like, it works so well. But no, I actually, the funny part about me is how long is Liv going to be filming this movie when they're the tag team champions? Like, how the hell long is she going to be filming this damn movie? Like, that's what I want to know. Like,
I don't know.
It's some horror movie she's doing. There's some B-level horror movie she's doing right now.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know much about it. That's why I didn't bring it up on the show because like it's a B-level movie.
Oh, you forgot Papa's
Oh.
Funko.
Did I forget to fix that?
What's
Did
that?
I change that? Oh, let me fix that real fast. Thank you for reminding me. No, it is. I rushed to get it started today. I forgot to change it to
I just looked over and I just
forgot to
didn't see
change
it.
it to. It should
Oh.
change over any second.
That's okay.
I pressed the button. It should change over any.
On my phone, it's
Okay.
changed.
But no, it's for continuity. It's for continuity.
Okay.
You can see on my phone.
Yeah, it'll change over on. It's on my screen here. So we're good. Anyway, but yeah, we'll move on. We have a couple more matches here. This is a match. If you had told me if you wanted to go, this match is be happening, I would not believe you. It is Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
This is the Bad Bunny replacement right here.
What? How did we get here? Like this is insane. By the way, tying in with this, can I just praise something? Me and Andy watch Stephanie's Place every
Yeah.
week.
You're about to say Sesame Street.
No, Stephanie's Place. But by the way, people go out there and say Sesame Street. I'm not getting into that on the air, but just throwing it out there. Anyway,
Wait, what?
I'm not getting into that on the air. Talk to me off the air about that.
Okay.
Anyway, Gunther versus Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee is on Stephanie's Place this week. The show on ESPN and Disney Plus.
Right.
And goddamn, if you don't love him after watching that interview, it's difficult not to love him after that interview. That was such a great interview. A fantastic interview. A well done one. Learned all about his history, how everything is wrestling to him, no matter what, everything's wrestling. But officially, this is his officially his second singles match.
Yes, I
Terminator-
believe so.
I'm not counting NXT here.
Yeah.
McAfee.
I believe so.
I'm not counting NXT here. I think this is the second official singles match because he had the match against Austin Theory. On
Right.
Mania.
Does it technically count because you technically face Vince and that's 3?
No, because no one talks about it.
Fair
That has been wiped from history. You want to know the funny part is there is 2 moments from different. I think from the Super Mania that moment has been wiped from history. That never happened. They never talk about it. According to the record books, according to Michael Cole, the reason I say that is because they always talk about how Cole and McAfee both undisputed at WrestleMania. So that match never counted. And the other thing that also, if you watch WrestleMania back, remember when Shane McMahon came out, Snoop Dogg called Shane McMahon out to face The Miz, and then Shane got hurt, and then Snoop Dogg hit a really bad people's elbow.
Yeah, that.
If you watch back Mania, the Shane stuff never happened.
They cut it out.
That never happened. It jumped right to Snoop attacking Miz and hitting people's elbow on the replay. It never happened. None of that ever happened.
Thank God.
So if you watch WrestleMania, the one in Dallas, Vince
39.
Yeah, the 39. It was certain.
The gold
39?
one. Yeah. 38 was Cody. 39 was.
The 39 with Cody. 40 was it had to be 38 because 39 was the first Triple H Mania. 39 was the first Paul Levesque Mania. It was definitely 38. Because 39. No, trust me on this. The main event because Cody came back at 38.
Okay.
That's why I know that Cody came back at 38.
I swear I thought because I remember gold, and 38 was blue, and 39 was gold.
But 38 was the night. The night 1 is when the 38 is that was Texas because that was the Stone Cold KO match.
Mm-hmm.
and then the next night, Stone Cold came out and beat up Vince. I know it's 38 because that's the last bit. That's the last WrestleMania Vince McMahon's involved in.
No, I'm talking about Snoop Dogg.
I'm not talking about Snoop. I'm talking about Vince.
We're not talking about Snoop
I was
Dogg.
talking about Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. That was LA.
39.
That was 30. That was LA.
That was 39. Yes.
39 was LA. Oh yeah, 37 was Tampa. 38 was Dallas. 39 was LA. You're right. I was thinking. We were on different topics. We were on different things.
I was trying. I thought you were talking about Snoop Dogg.
No, I was talking about
Vince. Happened at 39.
No, I was talking about Vince. But that never happened either. Because as a matter of fact, if you watch the edit on Stephanie's Place about that, they talk about the Magic Consultant theory, and then in the edit on Stephanie's Place, they cut to, and then Pat McAfee got to enjoy beers with Stone Cold Steve Austin. It is so funny. It's such a funny moment.
So I think
anyway,
Pat McAfee's winning.
Anyway, back to this. Gunther versus Pat McAfee. For the love of Michael Cole.
Michael, go on a poll.
No, we're not doing that. Someone's got to call the match. Somebody's got to call the match.
Pat McAfee wins with Michael Cole hitting some kind of splash. Michael Cole wrestles.
So I'm gonna. By the way, Big E, has asked the singlet to never return. The Michael Cole singlet that he rolled at WrestleMania 27. He's asked for that never to return.
Yeah, never.
For the Big E. Anyway,
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna. Okay, before I throw the data, I'm gonna throw a theory out there that this might actually happen. I'm gonna flash you back. Remember when Saturday Night Main Event returned?
Mm-hmm.
The first time they came back a couple of months back.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember? Someone that was there, and he confronted Gunther.
Yeah.
And then they put a pause on it because they had WrestleMania season to deal with. They never got back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this man was promised a retirement match.
Goldberg.
Not going to cost him that. No, this is what's going to happen. Gunther's going to win. But it's going to be a good match because he's going to take Pat lightly, and it's going to be a good match. But Gunther's obviously going to win. This is not going to be a long match at all.
I say by submission.
Yeah, exactly. But here's what is going to happen. Gunther's going to win, and then he's going to start beating up Pat again. And then Goldberg's musical hit. And he'll come out to save Pat. And then he'll finally get the Gunther-Goldberg match. And get that out of the way, and get this promised retirement match for Goldberg out of the way.
And then for funsies, just spear the shit out of Pat McAfee.
No, I wouldn't do that because Pat's going to get back on commentary. Dad, what do you think about all that? And obviously, he's Gunther winning this.
Well, my heart would love Pat to win.
This is not
and I know that the odds are really overwhelmed against him winning because of
He's not hitting a touchdown this time.
how Gunther.
Hey, first of all, that we don't have Colton Walter in 5 years. We're not doing that gag. We're not doing that joke.
Okay.
His name has not been Walter in 5 years. Let's just not do that.
How Gunther is such a professional about the things he does and how he presents himself and how dedicated he is to the sport. Whereas he looks at Pat as being more of a, I guess if you want to say a running gag or a joke and not taking things seriously, that's how he looks at Pat. And so the two personalities for this match, they're going to clash. I would love for Pat to come out on top, even if, say, Michael Cole would come out and do his ankle lock. But no, I think Gunther's going to win.
Okay, Dad. Cole is not getting involved in this match. Let's just get that out of the way. Cole's not involving himself in this match. It's not going to happen. So stop. If we have to stop even joking about that, it's not going to happen.
Or Wade Barrett comes out and gives him the bullhammer.
For what reason?
Because
Gunther
for some reason tonight. For some reason, Dad is anti-Gunther tonight. I don't know why.
He's anti-everyone.
I thought I was in a bad mood today. I was in a bad mood today.
I just, I'm a little bit anti-Gunther, but.
I'll go there.
No, actually, sorry. Who's shit in your bag of chips?
Anyway. Let's move on.
Let's move on.
We have 2 more matches to go through still. the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. It is Lara Valkyria versus Becky Lynch.
LV versus BL.
Why don't you start with this one, Christian? Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with I want Valkyria to retain, but I know how this is gonna go. Becky Lynch is gonna win again.
You know, you say that, and that's where my brain went initially. But remember, we all thought Charlotte was going to beat Tiffany.
Fair enough.
We're in a different generation here. Becky doesn't need to win, and Becky put her over once. Becky has put Lara over once for the NXT Women's Championship. And this is a bigger stage. I can see Becky doing it again.
I see it.
I totally could see Becky putting her over again. But so I guess we're tied here. Dad, what do you think?
I think I'm going to give the nod for Becky to win, and then she aligns herself with her husband's faction.
Okay,
Under Paul Heyman.
That's actually reasonable. That's a reasonable answer. All seriously, that's a reasonable answer. We haven't talked about the Heyman alliance with you here because we've been jumping around topic. What are your thoughts on that? The whole Heyman alliance. They're not on the show, and you haven't been here.
I think that it's a good idea, and it seems to be nicely done. And the way Mr. Heyman explains himself with the individuals that he has been aligned with in the past.
No.
Now,
Explaining that was Heyman crashing out on live television. That's what that was.
and I think this is great, and I'm sure that Paul handed it as far as creative, and I think it's going to, and it has so far hit the mark. And if you add a couple more wrestlers into the stable, I think you're going to have a wonderful group of wrestlers that are going to run roughshod on the company.
Although I'll give one credit where it's due, and there was something that happened on Raw that I didn't even think about in the moment. That was pretty cool. Braun, they're treating Braun like he's being mentored. So like he doesn't know everything that's going on. And what I noticed Heyman doing, and I think this is going to be a thing they're going to do, is he's explaining everything to Braun, thus then explaining everything to us. Like if they do, like the whole thing with Seth, where Seth got Paul to convince Jay to defend the title.
Mm-hmm.
You then explained all that to Braun, thus then explaining it all to us at home, so that we're not lost in the story. I love the fact that they're doing that. If they keep doing that, I think that's pretty brilliant writing on their part. I think that's pretty brilliant.
Well, what's really creative is when you have Seth, the architect, who's out in the ring, and he's giving these cues to Braun to do things,
exactly.
and Braun's doing it.
I love that too.
You know, it that shows like, okay, I'm learning from this guy who's basically being a mentor to me, and I'm the new guy coming in.
Absolutely, 100%. Christian, any thoughts on that?
Sorry, I spaced the fuck out.
You're allowed. But we were talking about how Braun is going to be the person that they're teaching everything to in the alliance.
that it sounds.
It's a great idea. I love
idea.
the concept. I love the concept so much. I really do. So,
it is a great idea, and it
it's
would
something
be
different. It's something different.
It's something different, and we would know what's going on.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, main event. One final time.
For the love of God, please be there.
Oh my God!
Obviously, we're not going to time it to have this match again. It is John Cena defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. But we're not doing it the same we always did. It's heel John Cena defending against babyface Randy Orton. And I love Randy Orton putting that out on SmackDown. That made me laugh.
Can we see John Cena go for a punt kick?
That would be awesome.
And then Randy Orton catches him into an AA.
That would be fucking awesome. But I love the fact that Orton, of all people, pointed it out that they switched sides. I thought that was pretty cool. Or he put it out in a promo. Here we are, Cena defending and Orton. Obviously Cena's retaining. Because I don't see them taking the belt off and putting it on Orton.
No, not.
How do you think this match is going to go, Dad? How do you think this match is going to go? Because Christian's feeling is better over here.
I think it's going to go. The crowd's going to be 50-50 split. and it's gonna go back and forth. They're gonna do each one of them gonna do their finishers. But what I'd like to see creatively is I would like to see Randy put on the STFU on Cena.
Interesting. That's an interesting idea. I like that idea.
He's done it before.
I know I like that idea a lot, actually. Cristian, what do you think about this matchup? How do you think it's gonna happen here?
Said what I said is what I want to happen, and you can have that. With the John going for the punt kick, and then Randy catches it with the AA, but then Cena hits an RKO, and then on the ground he flips around, and then crawls into the SDFU, tapping out Randy.
Ooh, that's a creative way to finish that.
It's
That's
like,
actually really creative.
wow.
But here's the problem is that might be too creative. That might actually be too creative of a finish. Because remember, Cena won the title by hitting him with the belt, hitting him in the head with a chair and a belt and all of this stuff. He actually hit a finishing move with the belt. So that might actually be too creative. That might be too much. As awesome as that is, I love it. I love that finish so much, but it might be too creative.
Or just for generic shit. John hits the refs down, belt to the head. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but I love your idea, but again, because of the storyline they're telling, it might be too creative.
If you could see my vision, he hits the RKO and then rolls, flips over, grabs his leg, and then goes into the S.
Oh no, I think it's great. I love it. I absolutely love the idea a lot. I just don't. It's just too creative for the storyline they're telling. Yeah. Unfortunately,
I kind of had an idea that just came in that basically
over it.
Cena gets disqualified because he hits Randy with the belt.
Oh,
so Randy can say that he was never pinned by Cena.
Wait. There's that meme going around. You probably haven't even seen this.
No, I know exactly what
you're saying. There's a meme going around. There was a match between Orton and Cena, and the meme has been Cena has the chance to do the funniest thing on the road, and Orton, the bell rang, and he punches the referee in the face, and they ring the bell and it's qualified.
Because Randy Orton did that exact same thing.
No,
he slapped the ref.
But it's the radio of Orton doing it. So the joke is Cena has the chance to do the funniest thing in the world. It is that clip. It just reminded me of when he said that.
Can we? Do you think they'll actually have
No way. They're gonna have an actual match.
Or they could do that and then restart the match.
But no, I don't see them doing that because I can see them actually having a match. Hi, anyone watching? I see some people have been jumping in the chat as we're talking here.
They can actually make that happen, and then Triple H comes or whoever comes out restarts the match.
In this case, it would be Aldis, I believe. It would be
Nick Aldis is like, no, it's not going to happen. Restart the match.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Technically, is a SmackDown match.
Yeah.
So
you can get the bit. You can get the bit in there. The funniest thing, but then the match you actually get the match at the end.
Yeah, it would be Nick Aldis. But yeah, that is Backlash. That is WWE Backlash happening this Saturday. Before we go, we have one more thing to do. And I really need to get an intro for this because I don't have one. But it's the question of the week.
Here's your intro.
There it is. And I've gone back to the box. I have gone back to the box today for our question of the week. And maybe we'll actually get some traction from people on the question. The question of the week this week is, what is your favorite board game of all time? Your favorite board game of all time?
Monopoly.
Okay, Cristian, you're going to go Monopoly right off the bat?
Monopoly. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to go. Come back to me.
I think I've noticed it says board game, not card game. I like that. They're two different things. Actually, that's interesting. I'm going to throw out there one that's actually a little bit more obscure nowadays. That's actually Sorry.
I was going to say
that was me and my best friends, when I grew up, favorite game to play together. That was literally one of our favorite
Trouble's
games to play.
also up there.
Yeah, but Sorry was literally one of my favorite all-time games to play, especially when I was younger. So I'll throw out Sorry as my answer. Dad, what do you think?
Trivial Pursuit.
Ooh, that's a good one. But there is a board. There is a board for Trivial Pursuit. That does count here. It does count. And Pictionary, I don't think it's a board game. That's a lot but Pictionary is a lot like the old game show Win, Lose, or Draw. Someone's laughing at that joke. Someone's laughing at that. By the way, why are you thinking? Speaking of Win, Lose, or
Monopoly.
Draw. Monopoly for real?
Monopoly.
Probably Monopoly Go right now is doing a Star Wars theme.
Because in Monopoly you can make everyone bankrupt, just like in the real world.
Yeah, I do play Monopoly Go every day. But
are we even allowed to say Monopoly on the show?
Yes, we are, because of Monopoly Go. If I'm saying Monopoly Go, the video game. The game is a game that I play every day. But
I thought Cristian would pick the game of life.
But that doesn't sound like a game you'd actually like.
The game of life. So you just want a depressed teenager. There you go. There's your game of life for you, folks.
Wow!
There's your game of life for you, folks.
That's on you. That one was on you.
Wow, you went there.
So that
Wow.
all right. So people listening, if you'd like to answer the question, I'm going to put this graphic up on all of our social media platforms that you can comment, and I'll have these two read the answers on next Thursday's show if we get answers. So we'll do it that way. Nobody can see you right now because I have the screen up still. But oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
That's a little too close there, buddy.
Sorry. Let me fix that.
I think it's the problem is he doesn't have social media, and he doesn't realize that I actually put these weird screenshots on my social media page. Okay, before I hit the button, I want to say something on social media real fast.
Go ahead.
So on Tuesday, I got home from work early Tuesday because I was doing a work project, and I had the TV on because I was working on a project. Just to have background noise of watching Practical Jokers, just like you do. It's a background noise. And in the middle of the Jokers marathon that I was watching, there was a continuous ad. Promotional ad, not even an ad. It was more of a PSA going on, talking, and you'll appreciate this, Christian. It was teenagers against social media. Teenagers doing a commercial to say, "I want to get my life back. Stay off social media." I thought of you immediately when I started. Because you weren't home. So I couldn't tell you about it because you weren't home because it was during the school day. But like, it was literally saying, "Stay off social media and don't doom scroll anymore. Get your life back." I was like, this might have been, it was all teenagers. There was not a single adult in the commercial. It was all people his age. There wasn't a single adult in the commercial. It was such a creative, and I saw it multiple times during the Joker's marathon. I'm like, this is one of the best PSA promotions I've seen in years.
Yeah.
One of the best ones I've seen in years. I want to make sure I brought it up here because we always talk about him not being on social media. He might be ahead of the game. It might be his generation. And I love it. Like,
the reason I never touch social media is to see dumb shit on the internet, some dickheads, or just be on there 24/7.
Yeah, I agree.
And with social media,
we'll do our plugs in a minute, but go ahead.
Can you put me on full screen?
Yeah, I gotta get to that part of my screen here. Give me a second here. Go.
The thing, I'm gonna say this from my heart. The thing with social media, fine, it could be great sometimes, but the problem is if you're on it too much, you lose the time with your loved ones. You will always lose that time, and there's no chance of getting it back. And with Nene, I felt like after she passed, I felt like I didn't spend enough time with her because I was on my tablet a lot.
Ooh, good call.
And I still feel bad, and I hate to say it, hate myself for not spending as much time as I could with her because I was always relying on the technology. So coming from me, spend the time with your loved ones while you can, because someday you're not going to be able to say hi or love you. You still can, but not, you know what I meant. So take it from me, a teenager who still regrets to this day, with my uncle as well, who, yep. I want to say to everyone, take the time with your loved ones not for granted, and spend as much time as you can with them. They will thank you for it, and you will thank yourself for it in the future. So please spend time with your loved ones as much as you can.
So there you go. I'm actually this is not actually about the PSA I watched. There's a lot of like that. A lot like that, where I lost a year of my life because I was on social media.
That just came from my heart.
Well, that's all like the commercial that was. That's actually that's the scary part. That's exactly what it sounded like in the PSA. That's actually what it sounded like right there. So like that's interesting. You ever see the PSA and you sound just like.
But yes, everyone, please don't doom scroll on your phone for God knows how long. Spend some time.
And here's the problem. I'm going to plug our social media, but what
Cristian says is a great point, and I think it's all about reconnecting with your family and your friends, and basically having a better mental health outlook than you do when you're doing social media, because so much of social media is more negative than positive.
So here's the funny part. I work on Mondays and Tuesdays. I work all day long on Mondays and Tuesdays. And I usually listen to podcasts or listen to music because I work. I'm on the on Tuesdays, I'm on the road all day long. There are days I'm on the road for at least 12 or 13 hours. And I don't even have a clue what's going on in the news. There have been many, many times where I get a text message and be like, this happened. I'm like, I had no idea. And they're like, why? I'm like, because I have not been on social media since I got out of bed. I have no clue what's going on. Or watching TV at night. I have word search books next to the desk, next to my chair now. Do that instead of we're watching wrestling, instead of being on social media and just going through TikTok. But it's not different though. That's just fun. But you know what I mean? It's different. And there are so many people that spend their days and spend their work days scrolling social media. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it.
Because what I've done recently is I've spent time on my video games.
That's different though.
No.
Like, yeah.
There is going to something lead into that. Years I've spent on just video games and my tablet, but recently you've noticed it. I think you've noticed as well. I've been coming out to spend more time with you guys watching wrestling,
I have noticed that,
watching
actually.
more PLEs with you guys
I have
instead of
noticed
staying in my room.
Unless you're hanging out with your uncle. That's different though. That's different though because it's still family.
Yes,
That's different.
but
Like,
I have come out of my room more and more to spend time with you guys to
And even then,
get back.
and there are nights though where I understand you want to hang out with your friends online. That's also different. You're hanging out with other people. You're not just like being by yourself. That's different. And I understand that. But anyway, let's wrap up here. Let's wrap up the show. We're gonna close with a brand new song that literally dropped last night. And this is Josh Groban and Kelly Clarkson.
Wow.
Brand up the new Gems album that Josh Groban just dropped. This is All I Ask for You. The fact that they did a duet is unbelievable to me, and it's the only duet on this album. It's the only album song on here that's not just Josh Groban. So we'll close with this. First of all, I guess we have to plug our socials because that's what we do here.
So just bad timing.
At Generation Evolution 00. Dad, go ahead.
Hey, let me go here. Like the show, comment on YouTube or Spotify. Follow the show on all platforms. Shows at Generation Evolution 00. And you can also scan the QR code for more information.
Here's the difference, though. Our social media is literally just us putting a clip from the show or promoting the show. And you can interact with us there. That's different.
Yep.
And I would love to get him on Instagram. Instagram is just fun, and it's a bunch of reels and just fun stuff. That's different. You know what I mean?
And like I said, leave comments, leave stuff. We'll reply to you. We're not that way.
So anyway, Cristian, tell people they can find you.
Follow me on YouTube, The Villain Zane Riley.
627.
627. I usually say the actual channel name. At The Villain Zane 627. I will be streaming probably tomorrow or the weekend, most likely the weekend, because I am going to be honest, I've been taking the week off.
And also, you got a lot of school stuff to do this week.
I got a lot of
you've been
school
busy.
stuff.
You've been busy. It's the end of the school year's almost over,
But-
so you've been busy.
But expect a lot of content for the summer.
Yes, absolutely.
For the summer, expect a lot of content, and hopefully sometime one of these shows, there's going to be another glitch.
It's planned for the summer. It is planned. I have it on the calendar for later. I think July when we're in Michigan.
You know what?
I have
I'm
a
not
plan
going to
for
say
that
it. All I'm going to say is wrestling related. There you go.
Yeah, I have it planned for July.
Another glitch episode? All right.
We'll see what happens. It's planned. It is
And not just glitches, not just funny glitches, but actually glitches that looked like they're cool as hell.
But yeah, we'll get to that in July. It's planned for our July vacation.
Yep.
That. It's planned for our
So
July vacation.
please follow me on there, and I will be streaming most likely this weekend. So please stop by. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be a blast.
You can join me and Cristian on Sunday. Special start time of 12 noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, because it's Mother's Day, and we're doing a 5K with Mandy. So we're doing a special 12 noon start time. I didn't even tell Cristian that until just now. We're doing a special 12 noon start time on Sunday to talk about the results of the paper of the PLE and the New Japan show, and also Dynamite big break is happening on Wednesday. So we'll talk about all of that on Sunday's show. Now, like I said, next Thursday they'll be here by themselves without me. So I'll be in New York City next Thursday. So that being said, let me put this back up here. Put this on. Let's get out of here as Cristian apparently is bleeding. Let's go. If you've been listening, thank you all for watching and listening. And you've been tuned into Generation Evolution. I'm Blake.
I'm Cristian.
I'm Mark.
Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Love you guys. Be safe. Be kind.
Love me, that's all I ask.
Thank you so very much. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night.